Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us.
If you're tired of being censored on social media, join 6zeros.net. It's black owned, black operated, and black moderated, and we make sure it stays a safe space for us to talk about all things black culture. We also got some cool gear like the FDM cotton crew neck, the Fearless Ancestors tee, hats, and more. Check us out at 6zeros.net. Hey girl, why are you so sad?
I just got banned from Twitter again.
Should have been on 6zeros.net. Ah.
All right. Welcome once again to the Beatzilla PDX official show. I am your host, Beatzilla PDX officially. We are here once again for the midweek report. So, yes, hopefully everybody is doing well. Of course, you see what the thumbnail is. I'll show you that again. When the rain dance for chaotic energy results, or energy shows results. Sorry. So, understanding what these people have been doing, we are watching the I guess old garb kind of implode on itself. So we're going to talk about a few of these issues this evening. So with that being said, let me get this up here. All right, so let me see who we got in the chat. Shout out Capricornes. Let me see who else. One who cares. Welcome. Troya Lee. Tariq. We've been here. Backup. Okay. Soulmont. Okay. S-Mont. You done stretched it out to Soulmont. We got Ange in the chat. Judah Queen. Silent D Productions. What's going on, brother? Desmond Works. What's going on? Tweety Montgomery. Hello. Film Animation Art. What is going on? What's going on? Welcome, everybody. Yeah, I said S-Mont. Okay, you done stretched it out a little bit, huh? All right. That's what's going on. I got the tomatoes on standby. On standby, absolutely. Tasha Peters, welcome. Quasi Black Star. What's going on? So yes, indeed. Man. So we know what the talk of the week is. It is definitely the Woman King, and the Woman King flopping. Also, Stacey Abrams and her campaign, which I heard in the news today. So they're definitely making a comparison of political shifts to how Clyburn's race, because now they're somewhat admitting that there was some contesting, although the numbers that they came out with don't necessarily reflect that. That's if you believe those numbers to be true. However, we are seeing a shift politically, and they are noticing that the grassroots voice is getting louder and louder and louder. So with that being said, Woman King is flopping. They're not trying to say that, but we see if you have to buy out a whole theater and you have to use like a baby face to do it, your movie's in trouble. And you're nowhere near clearing 3 times the budget. The budget's $50 million. You're not even going to break even on the budget. So this is a total loss. However, something that I noticed, and you know what? Let me get that in here because I'm actually going to start with that. Because there were some people that hopped, of course, on my Instagram, and I have to walk something down real quick because people tend to immediately respond without thoroughly investigating what they're responding to. So let me start with this, which was my post in the first place. So here's the video from I'm not sure what the sister's name is, but she did a brilliant breakdown of this movie. So let me go here because the weird thing is all of these things are somewhat intertwined. However, people are literally acting like, oh well, it's just a movie when it's convenient, but then it's historical. Well, no, now it's a movie, and well, let's just look at
Hollywood just does a bad job at portraying Black history, African history, and slave trade history. This newest movie that came out, The Woman King, which is doing well in the box office and is going to obviously be another Black idolatry movie, is false. The main character is fictional. The movie downplays their huge role in the slave trade. In fact, it was their main source of riches, the Dahomey tribe. They even fabricated a scene where the woman king was saying that they should stop using slavery as their main source of income and go to palm oil. Totally made up. Not only were they heavily involved in the slave trade, they also killed slaves in memory of their kings, like this one where they killed 800 slaves when King Gezo died. And when the British outlawed the transatlantic slave trade, they continued to work with the Portuguese and the Spanish to enslave other Africans. Don't get your history from Hollywood.
Well, and with that being said, there were some people who didn't like, I guess, the fact that she told the truth. I mean, it's very easy to see, but how that goes. So there was a couple of people who hopped. One in particular that I really want to kind of break down my response to because these people choose to miss or match marketing whatever strategy fits the moment. But understand, if there's a reason for them to do that, they're probably hiding something like a agenda or a political message, which Hollywood is very, very, very much known to do, just like the news media on the mainstream that we call it, the lame stream, the lie stream media. You know what I mean? So look at this. Just like, Queen Ahmadiyya says, the lame stream media. I call it the lie stream because that's all they do. And at this point, they have to, for them to successfully get a narrative over, they just have to flat out lie now. And that's pretty much what you're seeing every day. So let me see. Let me go to this little piece that from Twitter. Because I want to break this down. We don't need the music. Because I want to break down what's being said here. Okay, let me go back here. All right. So Viola Davis says, quote, "The Woman King was unlike any project she ever worked on." All right. Let's see what these next lines are. Okay. And see, here's where things starting to get tricky. Louise, welcome. So for those who might be tuning in now from my Instagram, let me explain something. What's going on the screen right now? It says the historical epic tells the true story of a group of Black female warriors. Now, what was said on my post about that video was that 85% 85 to 90% of Hollywood is basically fake or embellished, to paraphrase. Well, if somebody is saying that they are telling a historical true story, that no longer becomes under the guise of entertainment. That's more of a documentary. So which is it? Entertainment or a documentary? So now we're talking about the lead character not even being real. And for all intents and purposes, I'm still trying to explain one thing. And here's something else that I just did in a little bit of extra research. Do you know, family, that the last slave ship to come to America was in 1816 from the Dahomey? The very last slave ship to come to America, the United States of America, 1816. What that say? So you mean to tell me that this movie is supposed to, people are celebrating this movie based on just it being black folks? Family, these people were putting people in slavery after America turned them away. So to be in this mind state that this has got some tie to do with us, are you kidding me? The tie that it has to do with you is the same one as who you claim you don't like today. The only difference is the pigment of their skin. And somehow you have convinced yourself that something is different. That is amazing to me. My goodness. Let's go on. Let's see what else this has to say. Whew. Wait. And what's the other part? Who protected the African kingdom of the Dahomey. Now, so this is telling an epic true tale of a person that did not actually exist. And then the other part of the story, to where you're embellishing the truth about them talking about ending the slave trade. That's a glorious, fantastical tale, but it is not true. Wow. I mean, and this is not hard information to come by. Okay, wait a minute. Let me see what she has to say.
Ownership, agency, controlling my voice. That's what felt different. What felt different was, for me, it's just our production company, me and my husband, Juvie Productions, we produced it. It's our story. There is no white savior in the movie. There's none.
Yeah. See, that part actually isn't true either. I mean, I guess he's not really a savior by name. But ladies and gentlemen, the man laying on the bed with this other man on the bed is the man that is in the film. His name is Hero. No joke. No fake name. His literal first name is Hero. Just let that sink in. Now, he's supposed to be originally Dahomey and I guess Portuguese, getting back in touch with his roots. Yeah. All I'm saying is, oh yeah, another thing she just said about having an agency. That's right. That part too. Hey, look at this agency, folks. Hey man, what does that say? Man, the agency. Is this leaning towards agency of blackness, or is this the agency of gender? But also look at what she was convoluting. Well, me and my husband, we have a production company. This is our movie. Really?
Save ourselves. We shot in the motherland. You know, that's what felt different.
They shot in the motherland. That's what felt different. Let me something else from the motherland. Where is it at? Oh, here's something else from the
We've
motherland.
been going around praising all the Goodyear left, right, and center, singing their praises, invoking their spirits. And yet your history, your people are victims to something they did.
Seen the effects of the film, like in society. Like it's gonna be a movement in itself. That's what I believe. And I am honored to be a part of telling a story like this that is long overdue, that is very much needed, that will hopefully change how society views women, views black women, views dark-skinned black women.
And then the low-key colorism part there. Dark-skinned women. There is no hate out here on dark-skinned women. Not in this particular culture. I mean, and not maybe those other environments. You know what I mean? Patricia Harrell says Viola is not FBA. And hey, I believe they scrubbed her wiki. I thought she was supposedly have been born on a plantation. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe that was misinformation. CH464, because you know how they be doing. They be trying to they gotta reinvent somebody's past. You're just an American celebrity. What the hell does that mean? But let's see. Let's go. We're going next. Oh man, Amanda Seal. Amanda Seal. So she chimed in on, I guess one of her social medias. Somebody posted this on Twitter. It's her trying to tell people to go see the movie. Buzzer Cam, what is going on? Still Kevin Trees, I see you. Film Animation R said, always a major red flag when WS women want to write films about Black history. Even Lupita had to turn down this role. Absolutely. Man, so again, you said you got a crush on her, huh? CH464. Yes, indeed. So yeah, man. Before I get to Amanda Seals, Nina Turner chimed in, but understand what Nina Turner is doing. She's kind of making a political pivot. I guess it's kind of needed for her right now because she's been voted out. So now she's going to be kind of they're going to use her to be more of the sister girl down, grassroots talking type on the Young Turks. So we'll see how that turns out. Anyway, this is her sending a message to everyone to go watch this movie.
Just got done watching Woman King. Let me just tell you something. I'm not going to be a spoiler, but everybody must go see this movie. And especially if you are black, you need to go and see this movie. Viola Davis did the daggone thing, but so did all the other supporting actresses and actors. This movie will have you crying and cheering, and it will remind you as how far we have come, black people, as a black people. The Woman King, baby, don't mess with The Woman King. It is a must-see. I ain't gonna spoiler alert. I won't spoil it, but I'm gonna tell you something. I am revitalized for the damn fight. Mm-hmm. Keep the faith. Keep the fight.
Oh, Lord. Somebody vacuum sealed her pants, still Kevin Tree. You know, this type of thing where they go out there and start talking about how this is empowering and you were inspired. And I mean, it's how do you Wakandicize your enemy? That makes no sense to me. Dead serious says, stop the cap. I mean, you are literally like, oh, this is almost fetishizing your enemy, at least fetishizing history, because you are really taking a true revisionist approach and they're wanting us to go along with it. Well, nonetheless, y'all must be as high as this woman is looking, because damn, what's going on here?
Go see The Woman King and remember, because we forget about fighting. We forget that for centuries we've had to devise new ways to fight. We've had to be agile. We've had to learn. We've had to adapt. Sometimes it takes just a spark. Go see The Woman King and remember that there are always people from within who are going to hurt from within, who are going to harm from within. Remember that not all skin folk are kinfolk. Go see The Woman King and just remember that we have always continued. We've always continued in spite of. No one in the world deserves the terror whiteness has brought with it. And for centuries, we have worked and fought to try to undo it. Sometimes I feel like I have like 1,000 lives that have lived before me within me to remind me of that. And let this movie remind you, in case you have forgotten, that we still must fight.
Wow. Wow. Huh. Huh. Yeah, words and saying absolutely nothing. Go see it. Go see it. And family. Come on now. Is everything okay? Is everything all right? We just gotta know. Are you okay? What they be saying? Are you okay, sis? Ooh-wee. Mm. 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 Well, alrighty then. Yes. I just, man, I'm telling you, what's going on? Are you all right? Oh, okay. Shout out Harrell for the donation on the Cash App. Thank you so much for that. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be up on you and yours. Thank you so much. Much appreciative. Silent D Production said, eyes just a bucket. Man. Aboriginal woman, black first. One who cares. So where is the ham sandwich? Man. You know, these people, and these people are, oh, Samuel Logan, I see you. I see you. What's going on? Welcome, brother. Welcome. These people are really pushing hard for this movie. And that's how you know it's like an agenda. And for me, I always take notice of who chimes in on things like this because, you know, how you always have these people who are never commenting on anything that you are talking about, especially when it comes to Black empowerment. But here in this moment of absolute Black embarrassment, they're absolutely trying to celebrate empowerment in its place. No. And there's a reason for that. If y'all not recognizing the little play there, they're trying to re-blackenize Hollywood and the old dead Black media. That's why they're all coming out for this, like a unified team. Also can't help but take notice of some of the other things that are going on in the world right now. I just can't help but take notice. So I see, okay. We are in a very interesting time, family. And like all other times of, I guess, movements such as Black empowerment movements that precede us, there's always been people who wanted to get in the way to try to disrupt or participate, like these people here who, for the California reparations plan had a whole group up there having meetings and plotting on how to get the bag right in the back door. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, indeed. You got to watch these folks. Like all them foreign names. And those are people from different groups representing different groups. So when we say we have no friends, family, I see who's that? Solman said 19 subscribers away from 1,000. Yes, indeed. Let's go. Can't wait to celebrate. Me too. Me too. So yes, if we could get over 1,000, we got 19. Torian Rain Reloaded. What's going on, my brother? Yes, indeed. Still having chills from that stream on Black Alpha's hosted last night. Man, we did a mashup last night. Me, my brother Torian Rain, Afro Elite on Black Alpha's channel. As a matter of fact, Kid Gravity popped in for a minute. And man, we had a dope conversation. So you definitely need to go and check the mashup out over there on my brother Black Alpha's channel. That's Black Alpha Network. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, when we do those mashups, man, those are always powerful, man. That's the energy is always a high energy, high intelligent, Black excellent conversation, and it's always a building moment, and people always seem to receive it well. So that's one of the greatest things about it. Because it takes y'all too. So we are almost to 1,000 here. So, yeah, if we could go ahead and do that, I guess we will turn Friday into a celebration. If we can go ahead and get there. So if y'all could tweet this live out, that would help great. You know what I mean? Cynthia Newman, welcome, welcome. Yes, indeed. Oyela Aket, hey, we are now international. All right. Yes, indeed. Shout out to the Canadian family. So, again, with this movie that they are trying to shove down our throats, let's just keep in mind who's behind this. Not to mention, do y'all remember this director from somewhere? If my memory serves me correct, I believe that woman was affiliated with Get Your Booty to the Pole. I'm not certain, but I'm almost positive that that is one of the women who was tied to Get Your Booties on the Pole, Get Your Booties to the Pole. I'm pretty sure that's her. What a coincidence. If that was true. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying if my memory serves me correct, but don't charge that to my mind. With that being said, moving on to the next subject, and we will be doubling back to this conversation. In New York, they are filing some good political theater charges on Donald Trump. It will serve as a great distraction and a great talking point for the Democrats going into this November cycle. However, it's not a presidential election and Donald Trump isn't running. So I don't know how you're still going to be able to sidestep addressing the black agenda from the grassroots and all of these voices who you always want to keep ignoring. But you got these cameras that keep popping up in your faces asking you about reparations when you're running in the opposite direction. So that tells us what you think of us. And, if you got other people that work for you that would be in LA and California and you want to be known as a person of the people that just ain't your people, Karen Bass, and people that work for you could literally call black folks miserable. That says what type of time we live in with our black politicians. So, nonetheless, we have to cover this news. And so let's look at this for a hot minute.
We found that Mr. Trump, his children, the Trump Organization, created and used more than 200 false and misleading asset valuations on his statement of financial condition over that 10-year period. They issued statements that were in clear violation of general accepted principles in the general accounting principles in the United States, despite representing that these statements were prepared in accordance with these principles. Some of the common tactics they used include representing that Mr. Trump had cash on hand that he did not have, ignoring critical restrictions that would significantly impact property values when setting valuations, changing the methodology used to value properties from year to year without reason or notice, and using vastly different methods to value different properties even in the same year, and including tangible items such as brand premiums, the Trump premium, when calculating an asset's value, despite the fact that they ignored the advice of outside professionals. They also ignored the advice and appraisals of outside professionals, despite claiming those individuals provided certain figures.
Well, it's a lot of it's like a barrage of low-level charges. I don't really understand the true point of this. Have you ever really heard of a DA filing a civil lawsuit against a citizen? That's kind of different, don't you think? But like I said, this just looks like political theater. And it's perfect timing. Also, they're talking about the student loan debt. Biden actually going to do it. Well, we knew he was anyway. He was just trying to get closer to election. So now Democrats can look like, oh, yay, yay. But family, speaking of Democrats, Ilhan Omar. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. How the Somalians love getting away from blackness. Well, this sure benefited us in this case in Minnesota now, didn't it? 47 Somalians charged with fraud attached to that kids' food scheme going on out there in Minnesota. 47 Somalians. Ooh-wee. And that's what I'm glad that it went down that way. The Somalians. See, you ain't getting attached to our numbers on that because y'all Caucasian. So instead of actually calling y'all Caucasians, because that's how y'all identify on paper, they actually just called you by your nationality. Ooh-wee. Well, hey, what do I know? I'm just a stupid juror. Anyway, next story. We have to talk about the situation that Biden and that administration is bringing up on all of us, driving up rent while we have crisis going over here left and right, food shortages, food processing plants getting burned down, wheat plants getting burned down, and oil refineries catching on fire. Yeah, let's just go ahead and bring a whole bunch of illegal, let's call it what it is. Illegal aliens, can I say that? So let's just bring a whole bunch of illegals over here, illegal migrants, because I guess they are migrating here because they have no plans to go back home. We are watching a blue and red tug of war with basically their tools of replacing us in the class and economic food chain. Like Dr. Claude Anderson has already stated very clearly, trying to make us a permanent underclass. So let's view this tug of war.
Somewhere else, right? We don't have the services to take care of 50 immigrants, and we certainly don't have housing. We're in a housing crisis.
Now let's put these numbers in perspective. The population of Del Rio is under 35,000, but they had nearly 50,000 migrant encounters in July alone, whereas Martha's Vineyard, their year-round population, 17,000, and they got 50 migrants. Governor DeSantis had this to say.
The minute even a small fraction of what those border towns deal with every day is brought to their front door, they all of a sudden go berserk, and they're so upset. It just shows you, their virtue signaling is a fraud.
Now, Governor Abbott says the buses will keep rolling to relieve overrun border towns, while the Democrat-led city of El Paso approved a $2 million contract to bus more migrants at their own cost. Although no one is criticizing El Paso for their efforts, it's interesting, just about 20 minutes ago, you guys were showing video of that bus arriving in New York City. We don't know whether that's a bus sent by El Paso or a bus sent by Texas Governor Abbott. What's interesting is if it's El Paso, it won't be criticized. If it's Abbott's, it will be. Steve Ainsley, Brian?
Wow.
No doubt about it.
Right.
Thank you very much, Griff. Well, you know what? Something unique happened yesterday. Thank you very much, Griff. Something unique happened in the White House press briefing room. Fox News has been asking the administration about the migrants on our southern border for over a year. Yesterday, the entire front row and second row caught up. Everybody had questions about, hey, what's going on?
They can't ignore the story anymore.
They've been trying desperately, but now the mainstream media is onto something we've been telling you about for a very long time. You would
The
have
mainstream
thought
media.
the administration, knowing this was coming, they would have a better answer.
Oh, did you catch that? The mainstream media, did you catch that? Oh, man. Toya said they're about to be camped out.
You be the judge.
Does the White House stand by those comments that the border is secure?
What we stand by is that we are doing everything that we can to make sure that that we follow the process that's been put forth. That's why we have historic funding to do just that, to make sure that to make sure that the folks that we encounter at the border be removed or expelled. And again, the facts are more individuals encountered at the border will be removed or expelled this year than in any previous year. But that's the work that we have been doing.
Is the border secure?
I'm just going to refer back to the Vice President. We agree with her. We agree that the border is secure, but there is still more work to be done.
And you talked about how many, my goodness. How was she not prepared for that? I mean, that binder, does it have any information? Because they never seem to help her out.
It's just finding the right page.
You're right.
That takes a little
I know
time.
I have it in here somewhere.
Yeah, I got to talk until I find the right page. Why is it
Where
under?
is it?
Oh, here we go.
8,500 breaches across the
Poor
border.
thing.
You know what she chose to talk about? Well, Donald Trump's wall is breached so many times. Number one, if there was no wall there and you had your way, they'd be jogging across. At least they're, at the very least, slow down. And along with the...
Wow. Well, that's a quick stop at Fox News. This is what like the hatred causes. You know how like in Star Wars they be talking about your anger. This is what WS anger looks like, imploding in on itself. So you want to make us an underclass so much that you have just said, well, come on in. We're going to flood the gates. What really trips me out is hearing black folk caping for this situation. And they'll turn around and say, well, I mean, hey, man, you know, what about them trying to come here and better their lives and all of this? Have you seen y'all neighborhoods? Because I live over here on the I-5 corridor, all the way up here. Not only has there been a super, super duper homeless issue here, they all of a sudden are raising the rent cap. And some of these newer places weren't even under the cap to begin with. So they were doing, the way things were set up is just like, and I'm sure a lot of local governments have done this to their black residents. You basically price them out while funding the landlords to do it. And now it's really tearing up on itself, you know. Dominique Devereaux, what's going on? So what we're seeing right now, I don't know how the homeless just sit by and say nothing. I mean, I don't know. They at some point are going to have to get vocal because it's going to be more of the average man and woman homeless. You're going to be going to work to go sleep in a van or sleep in an RV or something. And both, I mean, this is what they are basically trying to do in some areas. And really pricing people out. I'm seeing some things and they're talking about 40% rent increase. That's insane. You got to sign this new lease now. So, yeah. With that being said, we have these so-called Democrats that we are always told to vote for, vote, blue no matter who. We're saying no tangibles, no vote, meaning we're not a Republican, meaning we're not a Democrat, meaning we are Black first. So what is the agenda that you are presenting to us? This is a political business exchange. Well, we see what we ain't getting.
Shelter system is nearing its breaking point, and that's all according to New York's Mayor Eric Adams. This all happening as Republican governors bus thousands of migrants to northern cities just like New York every week. But despite the politics, Adams says the city will still welcome immigrants with open arms. NBC News correspondent Antonia Hilton joins us now from just outside of a newly established asylum resource center right here in New York City. Antonia, first off, what does all this mean, just simply at the end of the day? I mean, what does this wave of new immigrants mean for cities like New York and the people who live there?
Well, Morgan, it means that there's a strain. We have an open arm policy here, as the mayor said, and nonprofits, city officials have been rushing to give all the new migrants who are arriving aid. And it looks like this resource center, this navigation center behind me here, they're giving people everything from free Metro cards to assistance connecting with medical providers to helping them get their kids, if they have them, enrolled in schools here. But look, the strain on resources and that breaking point is serious. About 11,000 migrants are estimated to have entered the shelter system. Some of them have since connected with family or friends who live throughout the city. So the estimate is now at over 8,000 people currently in the shelter system. But it's posed an extreme challenge. I mean, at times, legal aid workers and other types of volunteers have said that people have been sleeping on benches or at times on the floor because there simply aren't enough beds to serve them. So right now, it looks like more and more people are going to be arriving in a couple weeks. And right now, officials are really assessing what the city is going to end up having to do to handle all of this, Morgan.
And speaking of that, Antonia, I mean, after the mayor said that the shelter system was, as you mentioned, reaching its breaking point, there was some back and forth. There was also some backlash about what and how the process should be established to address it. So what are the options right now on the table?
Well, really, the primary option is to reassess the mandate here in the city to provide beds for all. So right now, we have a right to bed, to shelter for people, for all adults, regardless of immigration status. But the city and the mayor are going to be taking a look at that because we just might not be able to do that going forward.
All right, NBC News correspondent Antonia Hilton for us there on the ground. Antonia, thank you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel.
Is an absolute disaster. I mean, an absolute disaster. But here's one thing, I guess, which is kind of disheartening for me personally. The same people who are praising this movie are the same people who still believe Joe Biden is a good president. They can't convince themselves that we were better off with the last dude. By now, you could have gotten yourself a strong enough candidate and 8 years of whatever you want to say about this dude out of the way. And then you probably wouldn't have to have the mountain of issues that you do with the foundational Black Americans that are in front of you right now, talking about no tangibles, no vote. And, everybody wants to say, hey, these Black men, and the Tiffany Cross thing, and I'm going to get to Tiffany Cross too. The fact that I'm not sure if y'all saw all that piece, but Roland Martin, is there ever a time where you were not making a pitch for somebody's dollar? Well, I guess some may say you might be asking, well, where's the closest buffet? But that's neither here nor there. Oh, side note, real quick. No, before I do that, let me play this. So in this crisis that we have right now, right? They even asked Biden. So you saw Stud Pierre getting tongue-tied Well, you also have Mr. President himself have an issue.
Mr. President, why is the border more overwhelmed under your watch? Mr. President, on the border, why is it more overwhelmed under your watch? On the border, why is the border more overwhelmed under your watch, Mr. President?
Because there are 3 countries that are there are fewer immigrants coming from Central America and from Mexico. This is a totally different circumstance. What's on my watch now is Venezuela, Cuba, and Nicaragua. And the ability to send them back to those states is not rational. You could send them back and have them, we're working with Mexico and other countries to see if we can stop the flow. But that's the difference. Thank you.
What is your administration doing, Mr. President?
Looks like he's sending migrants to Delaware. Do you have any comment or response to that, sir?
He should come visit. We have a beautiful shoreline.
Wow. See, this dude, this is what happens when you're not ready for the question because you are only ready to come and lie. When all else fails, lie. So, moving on, I wanted to hit this little piece real quick. This is an interesting, just one of them random type of things that you'll run across and be like, oh, that's good to know. That's very interesting. I mean, something we probably already knew, but I'm glad to know that certain things are being conveyed.
True story. I get put over by a police officer. He already come up his hand, hand on the gun and everything like that. And he's like, license and registration. I'm like, all right. I give him my ID. But no bullshit. He reads my letter. He said, oh, you're Haitian. I said, yeah. He said, oh, okay. His demeanor literally dropped. His defense dropped. If he thought I was African American, how he would have treated me? White people know to treat other continental and Caribbean people better than they treat African Americans. They will do that shit.
Don't you let these people run that game on you. Oh, but do you think they know? Remember what Luke was saying in the space? Oh, they can't tell the difference. They can't tell the difference. All they gonna know is we are near. Yeah, okay. Right. Mr. Bohemian. Here's a Haitian say, oh, yeah. The energy turned down immediately. So what you say? So let me see where I'm going next here. Oh, where's that at? I don't know. Family, with this Jackson, Mississippi water crisis, it's a trip. When you see how Foundation of Black Americans stepped in and stepped up and pretty much just took over the aid to where was the Red Cross? By the way, just curious, So with that being said, they did a little piece on the brother that responsible for getting a lot of the water there, and as well as the people who had donated and aided that man and everybody else involved to get clean water to the family out there in Jackson, Mississippi. So I'm gonna play that real quick.
Looked like this. This clean water he's drinking isn't from his government. It's from a Black-owned bottled water business. Jackson, Mississippi residents waited in lines like this for water from the government after Jackson's water plant shut down. Community members are forced to pick up the slack. They've been sending donations to water distributors like Lee Coffee.
A lot of people take water for granted until they can't have it. Really don't think you need that much water until you're in a crisis such as now.
Community members and United Way have been raising money to give out free water. Coffee is the owner of MSM Distribution. He's been distributing water to residents since the crisis began.
The most shocking thing I seen was more the elder people who didn't have transportation to get the water they needed. I have seen families that really didn't have water to put in the baby's bottle to make, the infant's milk.
Residents have also been hand delivering the water to people without access to transportation. On average, Coffee says a household can go through a case of water every 2 or 3 days. In the last few weeks, he says he shipped almost 300,000 bottles. That's over 7 trucks. But that's nowhere near what it would take to help most residents. He says he would have needed at least 50 trucks.
It's gonna take a community. It's gonna take all of us. We all drink water. It's not a I problem, a you problem. At the end of the day, we all need water. It's just something in life we cannot live without.
Jackson's water crisis was caused by decades of underfunding for the majority Black city. Neighboring cities with higher white populations received more investment. That means, unlike in Jackson, their infrastructure is better maintained with developments like these. The US has been struggling to provide clean water to other underfunded regions. Recently, a New York City public housing complex found arsenic in their tap water, and E. coli was found in Baltimore's water. In fact, water quality violations doubled in the US between 1980 and 2015. It's estimated that up to 45 million people a year could be exposed to contaminated water in the US. While Jackson lifted its notice asking residents to boil their water, the problem won't go away for a long time.
Hopefully we can get this took care of. All I know is that we just gotta stick together and make the best out of what we can while we going through it and try to keep these people with water until we can figure out a solution to getting it fixed.
Once again, shout out to that brother. Shout out to that brother. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Louis said, God bless him. CH464 says, shout out to him. That's a real warrior putting in the work. Respect to him for for what he is doing for the people down there. Love and respect to that Black-owned water company, Film Animation Art. Judah Queen says, now all of a sudden people want to buy water where I'm at. Wow. Ferocious? Oh, Ferocious, the producer. Gotcha. Black first, brother. Peace and blessings. Louis said genocide. Absolutely. Yes, indeed. Dead Serious said, I love his energy. We got. Absolutely. And Judah Queen said, I donated to him some weeks ago. Okay. Right on. Shout out to you, sister. Dominique Devereaux said, I don't trust no water, food, or anything else the government gives out. God, only KN and WS. What chemicals is best? Oh, wait, is in that in that government. You already know. They've been passing out to Black folks all these years. You already know, especially with the cheese and that peanut butter. You remember that peanut butter? Ain't no telling what they was putting it. Some people had said that was leftover army food or something like that. I'm not sure if that was true or not, but that was the going sentiment in the early 80s that I can remember. That's old army surplus food. This the white label with the black writing. Peanut butter. And truth be told, real peanut butter is not supposed to be that hard. At all. And then that government cheese, which I don't know what type of it's Cheddarican. It ain't cheddar. It ain't American. Shaderican. Check, man. Oh man. Oh, you could probably make explosive out that cheese. Please. Let's see. So, real quick. I got a question, family. Because doubling back to the Somalis real quick. I ain't jumping on no Somalians' heads tonight, but hey, am I tripping? Me just I got the sound off. Now, is that the product of cake soap? Or is that a Rachel Dolezal? I'm assuming she's just a light-skinned African, right? Cake soap? Because, I mean, what complexion is that? On the real. Afro Elite, what's going on, my brother? I mean, what? It looks a little bleached. That's why I saw this like, I see a lot of these. It's like, but something about this one just hit different. Like, what am I seeing? Is it the cake soap? Or is it Rachel Dolezal? I'm confused. I mean, who knows? And I was like, does anybody know? Like, is this really an African, or is like this a Rachel Dolezal type of deal? Or is that just the abundance of cake soap in that region? Because I be seeing a lot of folks popping up in for some reason I keep seeing these like little reels. You know how you're going up and down your Instagram? I keep seeing these, what they call them, habish or whatever. Like all of them, like literally all of these women damn near look white. So it's like, man, you know, it made me think of this. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Whew. And also this.
Yay, the white man.
Shout out to Red Joker. Shout out to Red Joker. And you know, and also I need to hit this other video here in a minute, but let's see where I want to go first. Y'all know I want to talk about the Umar situation. So I hit on that a little bit last week. Hope Giselle. This Hope Giselle individual. This is a person who we have to address again. So for those who were not here, I believe it was my last broadcast where we went down how this person, kind of moves. You're gonna, let's see, I have that here. Is this it? No, this one. Okay. Yeah, let's go here. Because the one thing that I was tripping out about this particular individual is that they are using this person to speak for Black women, natural born Black women. And then you have Black women just kind of sitting back, letting them do it. So this number one just seems a little weird. But nonetheless, let's take a refresher and then we'll get to the most recent piece.
Because they don't have any male role models. Would that also be the case for boys who are raised by two mothers?
Is that even in the questioning, when we have these conversations at large, we're never talking about the issues that the young lesbian women face, especially within the Black community. We're never talking about the issues of what happens when a mother leaves the situation and has to be raised by the father, right? Those things are always left to the wayside. Those women are never given voice to talk about their experiences. But the second that a person assumes that their son is going to be a sissy, it's always this huge, large conversation. And there's always a need to want to blame Black women. Why is there this idea that if a man walks away from the situation, that a Black woman is to blame for whatever happens, and putting this pressure, this immense pressure on Black mothers to either harden themselves or find someone that may be toxic for their family and them as a whole in order to prove that their son isn't going to grow up a sissy. There are plenty of people that have grown up, been raised by Black women, and it's been okay. There are plenty of folks that we don't know about their personal life that have been raised by LGBT folks and refuse to admit that because of the stigma. And so I think that we need to move away from this conversation around censoring young Black boys as if there's a sole goal. Every time somebody wakes up in America, it's, oh, let me emasculate them. What about
That part right there just kills me about this whole diatribe. You are literally the poster child of that success, while literally trying to disprove its existence. I mean, this is insane, but nonetheless, this is what this is.
these young lesbian women who do not have a voice at all to talk about their experience within the Black household? Because young lesbian girls are being beaten by their mothers every single day, being beaten by their fathers, having people in their family molest them to try to get the gay out of them because all you need is the right one. And that.
Family, have you ever heard of that? Have you ever heard of that? I mean, man, let me tell you something here. Also, let me also say this. In these spaces, be careful about some of these people you let speak, because, you know, we had a brother in here, man, and no offense to the brother, but, you know, using R. Kelly as any type of example of a reference of people being done wrong is probably not going to go over well with a room full of women. You understand? So, you know, that's probably not the most brilliant idea. So, yeah. Yeah. R. Kelly probably isn't the route you want to go. You know, you can definitely have your own personal feelings about the man. And, you know, you definitely can have your personal stance about the man. Cool. Just know, not everybody will feel the same. So, you know, just saying, if you're going to use a reference point of someone not being done correct or right, R. Kelly might not be the go-to. Just a word of advice. Nikki the God in the house. Welcome back. Welcome back. Capricornus. What does that say? Why was the peanut butter so watery? You know, not ours. Ours was, you know, that was the super duper tear up the bread. You tearing up the bread. Like, just oh my Lord. So let me let me get to this next video. As y'all seen, here's something I want to point out, because a lot of something that this person said on the last video was about them. Actually, no. You know what? I gotta find that real quick, just so if anybody clips this up, let me make sure that I have that in here for reference. Okay, nobody say, oh, they didn't say that. Kid Gravity Beyond, what is going on, my brother? It's like, yeah, they did. You know, and I'm being PC. but here's a little taste here.
Putting your hands on women, putting your hands on trans people, putting your hands on queer people and gay people because you're upset about being a black man in America, or because you're upset that you can't live your truth as a black man in America, is no longer going to be the answer.
All right, that was enough. I just needed to capture that part. Now,
the fundamental issue within our community is the fact that we are so willing and ready to walk away from each other than to figure this out. But what really burns your grits and what really makes you upset, Dr. Umar, is that you sat there on that live, that panel, for an hour and a half with commercial breaks and all of that, and your little jumping. And every time I opened my intelligent mouth, your little got a little harder. And you were...
Family, does this remind you of anyone? I mean, the resemblance to the same spirit is uncanny. I mean, man. And something in these people's minds says, because I changed how I identify, the predator in them somehow shifted. Because what you're seeing in this is predator behavior, just like you see in the other one. Oh, Lord. So this right here is basically talking about being happy, successfully fooling a heterosexual male into just being, I guess, cordial. But you know, even being on the cordial level, you trying to overdo it and put all the extras on it. Oh, I seen your little thing with just stop it.
Just so enthralled with this black queen that was spitting this knowledge, and even if you didn't agree with everything that I was saying.
You know what's funny with the black queen line, though? Can't that go both ways? That's like a useful term in either side of the fence, right? In this particular individual's case. Maybe I'm wrong.
Saying down for it, because
Dominique Devereaux, right?
When it comes down to the women that you claim that you like on that panel, I was her. It's giving skin. It was giving fresh face. It was giving no. It was giving, I'm not giving it to everybody. It was giving African kente cloth. It was giving all of the things.
It was giving Jermaine Stewart.
Things and set it up that way for a reason. I didn't go in and put on lashes or overdo my makeup. I barely brushed my because I didn't want people to turn around and say, you can only fool us if you have all of that going on. You can only trick us if you have all of that going
on. Sir. Wow. If that ain't predator behavior or predator talk. Tricking someone? You mean like a deceiver? Yeah, okay. It's pretty wicked. Trickery. Soul mind. Absolutely. absolute trickery. Phantom Beat, what is going on? Dog Giselle Whistle. Man, black coffee, no sugar, no cream. Does that woman still have a dangle? I believe that this individual has already went full blown with the full changeover. As far as I'm aware, I believe so. I believe
You
it's
can
gone.
only be a woman if you have all of that going on.
That is nothing to be proud of. But this is the same person that was talking about living their truth. Well, what's the truth about a person not wanting to be fooled? You know what I'm saying? And they're taking pride in deception. There ain't nothing cool about that. I mean, that literally makes you a bad person. I don't know what people be thinking. Like when you're a bad person, right? No, not because of your sexual preference. No, because of your attitude of predatory behavior. Tricking someone into doing something that they wouldn't normally be doing. Yeah, what the hell? No. That type of stuff, when people start talking like that, like, hey, you better watch them. You gotta keep an eye on them. And oh yeah, this is even the better one. So is this it? You know that preacher out of New York, Bishop Whitehead. You know, he done got himself in another little bit of controversy. However, I will say this: when you have any kind of venue, and someone is trying to come up here and be disruptive at your venue, I ain't saying, go ham and go get physical, but if somebody is going to try to turn that out against you, saying, hey, you're wrong for doing that. Nah, man, nah. And from what he said, now I kind of take what this dude say with a grain of salt. But he said that this woman was literally walking towards his wife. No.
Yes, Lord. In the name of Jesus. In the name of Jesus. Let's pray in the spirit, y'all. Roko shana ma 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 si. Roko bo shata ba ba ba. Rete bebe go shata ba. Ata ba boko shata ma si. Roko shene ma ba shata ba ba. Ebeko shata ba 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 ba. Rete beko shana ba. Hey, glory to God. Now remove her out of here. Now move her out of here. Move her out of here. Amen. Come on, let's give Jesus a round of applause, y'all. Hey, yes, Lord. Let's give Jesus a round of applause.
Uh-oh.
Let's give Jesus a round of applause.
Uh-oh.
Let's give Jesus a round of applause. Now let's give Jesus a round of applause. While they take pictures and they want to be on social media, take the pictures. 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 Go over here. Grab her out.
Oh, man. Shout out Joel Oilsheen. Whew. Now, what I don't understand is after all of that was going on, and just from what I'm hearing about this dude's church, it's like, what y'all thinking about still going off up in there? Like, why are y'all still at that church? I mean, I get it. You love the Lord, but I mean, hey, man, this dude ain't cool. Here's a different angle of this debacle. And let me see if I can get that on the screen. There we go. Yeah, there it is. This is the security footage of this incident. Capricorn says she was way out of line. Yeah, absolutely she was. Dark-skinned brother, what is going on? Man, I mean, this is crazy. And then she just up there all in the aisle. Like, I mean, they up there coming trying to really go viral anyway. Because one of them got a podcast. So she out there, yeah. Oh, Lord. Oh, he laid the not so holy hands on her. Gave her the jazz from Fresh Prince. Lord. Now, I can't tell. Well, because I guess in that they're circling, so I guess that's where you're seeing the wife and the kids. So she was headed in that direction, I guess. But you know, because I guess for them, they all know who she is too. So, you know, yeah, I guess they could have possibly been making a beeline for her. I mean, and if that's the case, yeah, oh, hey, you know, you're supposed to protect your family against all threats. Just simple as that. You know? Yo, 103, Queenin. Welcome, welcome. And then he said, I feel threatened. Amen. He sure did. They got that on tape. Did she file charges in Flower? No. I guess she tried to at first, but they dropped the charges immediately, I guess. That's my understanding. I'm not sure what happened. Oh, but you know what else? And this is something else I found very interesting. These are one of these little things that, again, like I said, you'll just come across on the internet. And you just be like, oh, wow. Well, that is interesting. And this is another one. Like, this is one of those good, interesting videos where, you know, something you don't see every day. You know, and some people would say, well, hey, you know, that's what's actually prescribed in the scriptures. Who knows? I mean, you know, I'm not sure where your beliefs are or not, but hey, I found that pretty interesting. Anyway. Oh, let's see. Let's go to this little quick video here. Here's another TikTok racist going full-blown racist.
Invaded by Mar-a-Lago, and now you're doing this. This is some fucking bullshit, man. It's some fucking bullshit. Call security. Call the FBI. I don't give a fuck. This is some fucking bullshit. Because I'm fucking white, you're gonna fucking invade me? I was sitting on the fucking plane, man. I was sitting on the fucking plane. I was sitting there. My seatbelt was fucking.
Woo-wee. His cuss words. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. These boys can't talk without every other word. But the one thing I think you get the gist of what was going on right there. He's upset. Now look how this victim thing is happening. See, nothing happens by accident. I hope a lot of our people, I hope all of our people would adopt this understanding. What is doesn't Jason Black always say, nothing happens in a vacuum. Family, there is something behind this. What's the agenda? Well, you have these women who represent what? Well, they represent people who are willing to go ahead and put us in chains and put us on a ship and put us over here on these shores, being that the last slave ship coming to America was by the Dahomey. So I guess they didn't know that. That's what we're going to believe now. That these women here were not aware. Okay. But they did find him. All right. Well, you know what? Let's get into that real quick. Let's see who he is. Let's talk to him real quick. Mr. Hero. And I'm not kidding, folks. His name is literally Hero.
That is something that actors enjoy doing, but we do. So,
And how does it feel to have its world premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival?
as I said, I've never been before, so it's a first for me. I'm so proud to be a part of this film. So to have it kind of premiered on such a big stage here at TIFF is an honor, and it feels fitting. It feels right. It feels like what the film deserves.
When you first see Viola Davis in the film, you can't help but gasp at her power. What was it like to see her on set?
She's amazing. I just wish I had scenes with her. I don't have any scenes like directly with her in the film, but she's amazing. Even to just watch her work, her focus, her attention to everything. But on top of all of that, not just looking after herself, looking after everyone else on set. She's amazing. My only regret is not having any scenes with her directly. Yeah.
And another incredible talent is Gina. You know, as a director, we've been fans of her for a long time, since Love and Basketball. What was it like to be on set with her and be directed by her?
I don't know how she manages to keep everything so chill and so calm and so relaxed. And that's what you need in any kind of leader in any walk of life. You need your leader to just, make everyone a bit more chill, grounded, composed. And she does that. I feel like even on the most stressful days on set, she just rocks up. What's going on? I'm chill, so now you all have to be chill. Just enjoy it, do your work. And she exudes this kind of energy that's just like, no, we got this. We're all here for a reason. She trusts us, and you can really feel it. I feel like all the time as actors we say like directors are collaborative, but Gina really, really does listen to every note that you have as an actor and tries to incorporate it, and saw that firsthand. And I would love to work with her again. I had so much fun. She's amazing, so we love Gina.
Well, Hero finds Tiffin. Congratulations on the film, and have fun tonight.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah. Now, do you think that he was a prominent character that would have been written into the film and written into history? Well, no, of course not. There you have another character who they made up. But there's no white savior. No white savior in this movie. Just a white hero. See how they did that there? Anyway, let's hear from Viola herself.
When I was talking to Lashana Lynch, she said, I'm tired of these black movies it just being a moment. And for some reason, she felt like this isn't just a moment. This can be the new normal going forward. And that wasn't what I planned to ask you today, but that resonated with me. What do you think about that in terms of moving forward and making this normal? Because this carpet feels different for me. I've been doing this for a while.
Absolutely. I completely 100% agree. But here's the thing I'm going to add to that.
I smell biscuits.
It will just be a moment if people don't come see the movie.
Hey, you heard?
Okay?
That's right.
Because you're sending a very clear message to a machine called Hollywood. A machine called Hollywood is interested in green. It just is. It is what I do. So if you don't come see it, then you're sending a message that black women cannot lead the box office globally. That you are supporting that narrative. And if you want to normalize it, come see it the same way you would, the same way you would Black Panther, Spider-Man. Iron Man, Spider-Man, or any other movie that doesn't have any of us in it. Or one or two of us in it.
Okay. And with that being said, let's just take a look at this little piece from the longer piece of Lupita. So this is only about 2 minutes.
Martine's great-grandmother Yaga was enslaved, but remained on African soil. On the beach at Ouida is a memorial. It bears witness to the fate of thousands of prisoners that the warrior women captured by order of the kings to be sold to Europeans into the transatlantic slave trade. And it bears witness to the over 2 million women and men who from the 17th to the 19th centuries were loaded onto slave ships here on what came to be called the slave coast of Africa.
It was very emotional, very overwhelming to consider that side of the story, you know. We've heard a lot about the valor of the Agojie, how unstoppable they were, but until now I hadn't really heard the other side of the story, you know. It came down from this historic, almost like glorious
lie
remembrance to just the hard, brutal truth.
Hard, brutal truth. And yes, I don't think you get much more brutal than sacrificing 4,000 enslaved folks who would have came here, by the way, when one of their kings died. So yes, those people who were slaughtered and sacrificed for their religion and deity that you might even probably be into right now, who knows? Yeah, those people, those would be the ones who slaughtered your ancestors, not really actually looked out for them. So maybe some of your leftover family members that were there and separated from you guys got sacrificed to their god for the death of their king. 4,000 is plenty. I mean, hey, man, we're gonna celebrate their valor, man. I mean, geez.
We've been going around praising all the Agojie left, right, and center, singing their praises, invoking their spirits. And yet your history, your people are victims to something they did.
Very much so. Very much so. So yeah, I don't know how folks could justify glorifying this movie. It makes no sense to me. But I see the objective that they were trying to get accomplished. What is this? Because what they don't want is any of this. Because again, trust me, just even little stuff like this, if the more they see stuff like this, oh no, and then all of y'all start getting y'all way over here and y'all talking this, yeah. See, these people's minds, remember, their minds always go toward their women. Have they not? They use them as a weapon or as bait or as the point them out or set them up. Yes, indeed. So, there's that. So, oh, real quick, this dude too. Again, in that minority coalition thing that does not exist. Let me help just refresh some folks. If y'all want to clip this, you can.
Mommy, she looks like me. She's so pretty, Mommy. Look, Mommy. She's so pretty. Mommy.
And now they say he's hiding out. It's so funny. People have been so used to treating us some kind of way. And some people have gotten used to being abused or allowing people to, because they're black or have black skin, abuse them and talk crazy. T. Clay, welcome. Because one of the things that goes on in these situations, I see folks like right now. I mean, you got to go see this. It was just hard, man. It was tugging on my heartstrings and I was crying. I got to go see it again. Oh, man, this movie was just so great. It was so powerful and so moving. Oh, they're already talking about Oscar talk, right? I mean, this is definitely worthy of an Oscar. Yeah, it's going to be Oscars for all of those greatest director. So watch. See, right now, this is how this works, family. Okay? So this is what you see right now, right? This is how you push it. This is how the award show's going to look. You see that? That's how the award show going to look. That might be the picture they put up there. It's going from this. Yeah, we got an all-black cast. And then the Oscars going to come. It's going to be their night. With a bunch of black folks looking like warriors. Now, just look at the optics of this picture. I just want to put this in perspective. These women wrote this story about these people who they knew are the last folks dropping slave ships off here. Because, because truth be told, this story, it's one of the ones that is more accessible. One of the reasons why is because they are the most modern African slave traders, which are no longer present, by the way. Totally done away with. So once again, here's in February at the Oscars. That's how it's going to look. And it just looks like, thanks, girls. You did our dirty work. And then all these people going to be on their Facebooks and Twitters. And man, they snub Viola at the Oscars. She deserves an Oscar for her role. Why does she get an Oscar? Because her job is done. So all of this that they're doing, oh, no. This needs to flop. Because this is about an agenda. And one thing that we need to stop allowing to happen is letting other people tell our story. And so we backed off of it. We have all these other people coming to us like we're losing by boycotting this movie. We didn't go see Harriet. And just as I started tonight's broadcast, I started it with the Maroon trailer from Tariq Nasheed. Why? Because this man is this is his eighth film. And this is going to be like a series. Are you guys going to support that? Do you own the other hidden colors in Jason Black's films? You can go to Black Channel Films. You can get his stuff. I mean, there's other people out here with documentaries and books and literature, but it's so funny when something so, I guess, y'all remember when Beyonce did the Formation thing and everybody thought like that was the reemergence of the Black Panthers? You literally had people talking about, man, she's a Black Panther. They understand how they have a lot of people's minds. They are well, firmly with their hands on the steering wheel, understanding how to drive that car, known as the public perception. And they've been doing it very well. So right now you getting this, but this is what's behind it. Now with Tariq getting securing his building for the museum, you're gonna have people say, well, you know, there's somebody that white that he had to team up with now, right? It'll always be something, family. And truth be told, that's gonna be in anything you do. There's always going to be somebody who doesn't like you or doesn't like what they think you're doing or not doing. That being said, you keep doing you, especially if you know you are doing what you're supposed to do and you are moving in your purpose. Only you know that. You know, there's a lot of folks who will say, well, I know you need to be and what you should do and what you could do. No. Unless you created that individual, that is not your place. And another part that I would like to address before I move on any further, I'm not sure who raised a lot of these males out here in these internet streets, but if you are repeating secondhand news information in public and talking about it in public without either party being involved, how I've grown up, that makes you a sucker. And so when you do that, people could put you in certain categories and lights because people with any type of understanding about themselves should know what they see. You know what I mean? And I think I have said what needed to be said on that. They wouldn't tell the Jews or the Russians to go see a movie about Hitler. Hell no, they wouldn't. And that was the whole point. I was like, they wouldn't tell any other racial group to go do that. I mean, like I said, the movie wouldn't even have been made to begin with. And that would have been scrapped. That's like, like Michael Jackson was trying to make the Black Moses. So it's like, yeah, they should be doing that. They weren't helping him with that either. But here's another issue with this type of convolution. You have people like Bill Maher, always talking out of his rear end.
Everybody who could afford one had a slave, including people of color. The way people talk about slavery these days, you'd think it was a uniquely American thing that we invented in 1619. But slavery throughout history has been the rule, not the exception. The Sumerians, the Egyptians, the Greeks, Romans, the Arabs, British, the early Americans, all the way up through R. Kelly.
Let's throw R. Kelly in there. Yeah. See, And this is why we say the code is the leader. Back to this jerk.
The Holy Bible is practically an owner's manual for slaveholders. The word slave comes from Slav, because so many Slavic people were enslaved, and they're as white as the Hallmark Channel. Who do you think gathered the slaves from the interior of Africa to sell to slave traders? Africans, who also kept their own slaves. We're a species prone to making others of our species our bitch. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Humans are not good people.
Yeah, here's the problem, though. It wasn't just blacks. You see everybody on that screen? They're not just black, but everybody's trying to have their hand in our pocket today. So one person doing it doesn't make it right. And again, folks, let me let you know that was just a word from the devil.
And the capacity for cruelty is a human thing, not a white thing. That's the truth, even though it doesn't jibe with the current narrative. But in today's world, when truth conflicts with narrative, it's the truth that has to apologize. Being woke is like a magic moral time.
Being woke. Ah, that line again. Yeah. Being woke. And that's just when you mean you stepping into your greatness like this. So when you walking into your power and you know where you belong, so you can get your stroll on. You know, but yeah, just listen to how they're trying to move. Louise said Bill has long removed the mask. Yeah, that much is very clear. We are seeing that this dude is definitely on the full-blown WS train, moving full steam ahead at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, no hesitation. Let's see here. Again, we got 58 people offered in the chest. Can y'all share this out? Can y'all tweet this out? Looks like let me see who we are. We are at 981 subscribers. We should be able to get 19 subscribers between now and Friday. I would think so. Also, we have another premiere live that'll be happening in the morning. So you guys will be able to tune into a little bit of that. Let's see. What is this? Okay, I think this is the other thing I was looking for. Bear with me 1 second. Oh, okay. No, this is not what I wanted. That is not what I wanted. So, again, these people are pushing all types of political agendas on us. One of them being, of course, gender confusion. Because with the Hope Giselle thing, that was right off the rip. That's promoting gender confusion because you literally called Dwan B and Umar up for this conversation with this individual. Why? It's because you were trying to do something there. And I guess for me, at this point, that's why I would expect that type of behavior out of these people. But it's not cool to put either one of them in a conversation talking about man and female issues without first clarifying dude's status. And then after that, it looks like y'all was basically doing that to besmirch the man. And that ain't cool. Let's see. That ain't cool at all. Okay, let me get this in there. Okay, so let's go here.
These are on the same ticket, Roland.
Again, though, look, they're not on the same ticket because also you got when you break down these races, you got to break down where independent voters are going in terms of who's supporting Kemp, who's supporting Warnock. You have all of that going on here. But Terrence said something that is critical and often gets overlooked when he said strength. We heard this, a lot of black men talk about Donald Trump's strength. I remember it was said about George W. Bush. But people have to understand what resonates with black men when you represent strength. Why do black men respond to Minister Louis Farrakhan? It is strength, not weakness. Now, you can say it's policy, you can say it's crazy, but if I need to understand the psychosis of the individual to understand why they might vote someone in order for me to reach them. So we're talking about how to reach them. I remember in 2016 telling Hillary Clinton to her face, you have a black male problem. Where are your black male surrogates? Well, what about the CBC? I said, no. Why? I said, where are the black men? You must send black men talking to black men because we have a different conversation with one another. That's their failure. And so if you don't do that, then you are going to lose. Stacey has a great platform, but she needs black male surrogates out.
Who are some people who could be like great surrogates for her? Well, because it can't always be politicians. Like sometimes it needs to be the local pastor, the barbershop owner, the exec, the courtroom, the corporate office exec. Sorry, Cliff, were you trying to say something?
No, I think Roland's got an excellent point. I think, there's been a whole thing talking about Herschel Walker and how he can't tell the truth and how much he lies. And there's a segment of the black male voter population for which like telling a lie is actually a cool thing, right? I'm just keeping it real. Like that's part of the thing with Trump, right? But I think that, we need the equivalent really to this point about surrogates. We need the equivalent of like what the WNBA and the Atlanta Dream did for Reverend Warnock. Keep in mind, he was low in the polls until the Dream started wearing his shirts, and that's really where he started to skyrocket. We need the equivalent of that, shouting out Warnock, but also.
Let's be clear, Warnock is still losing. And so is Stacey Abrams. Actually, she just fell 8 points.
Poking holes in Herschel Walker, and Herschel Walker, to really have him be as ridiculed within black male circles as like Dr. Oz is being ridiculed in Pennsylvania for his PDT or whatever. We need that kind of strategy, and we need those kinds of surrogates that can really point that out. I think people like Cedric and some others, like we need, if every black male comic just had a routine on Herschel, I think that would be enough right there.
But it's not just Georgia. It's Mandela Barnes in Wisconsin. It's Sherry Beasley, North Carolina. It's Jennings in Florida. There has to be a strategy. And I'm going to keep saying it again. If you're not spending money on black-owned media and you're not listening to black people in the Democratic Party, and let me look in the camera.
We already know who he means. You know what I'm saying? And like Torian Rand Reloaded said, the answer to the question, no, Stacey cannot win over black male voters. It's not going to happen. It's done deal. You out of the race, sister. And this ain't the first time. Like, this is the second go around. And you still are in the same position that you were last time. But you're doing and using the same approach that didn't work last time. Nobody is looking for that. And at the time that everybody is looking at the Congressional Black Caucus as a bunch of big do-nothings, and everybody that is affiliated with them, especially all the black talking heads in positions of so-called power in the Democratic Party, doing nothing. While there's been nothing but crises from city to city, state to state, never getting addressed for these areas that you supposedly represent. But nonetheless, you have a whole Caribbean CARICOM. You're able to send money to Pakistan, Taiwan. Now they're Puerto Rico has got their hands out saying, hey, what about us? What about us? We have troubles over here. We need some of that money. Let's get over some of that money over there. Break us off, family. Because, we American. American, we just like the blacks. See, we are just like the blacks in America. See, we want these same rights as the blacks. Everybody started getting real cozy with being black all of a sudden. I seen some other thing African diaspora put out earlier, which was absolutely comical, with this Dominican woman was saying about how she doesn't subscribe to racial constructs because racial constructs is something that's done in America. I'm like, is this woman out of her mind? Like anybody who says these things developed in America is an absolute idiot. No, America would be the place where you see these things best perfected, but definitely not the origin. No, because the people that did it aren't indigenous to this land. So they couldn't be from here. That doesn't work. Oh boy. Goofy.
White strategists who controlling the money, you keep trying to chase those suburban voters, you're going to lose big.
Yeah.
And so put the money where the people are.
Oh, you know what? Wait a minute. Wait. Did Roland Martin get up on TV and quote me? Hold on. He had to think about that last little part. It almost sounded like he was going to say, put your money in the bag. Wait a minute. Man, I'm telling y'all, with that money, all that independent money, we see you, Roland. See, you gotta, the people who really talking to this, stop it. Stop. Nathan Broussard said, poor Stacey Abrams, she's losing black male voters by huge margins. Absolutely. Rightfully so. You know, I don't understand how you can come around us and then start talking like this.
I'm not always going to only talk about what we can do for black people. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
All right, well, then we'll help you out. And a matter of fact, just like what I was talking about, just so you can get clear, when they tell you what they mean, no, I'm not going to do nothing just explicit or just specifically for black folks. Well, actually, in Kamala Harris's case, and of course, Joe Biden's case, that's not actually true. Well, it depends on how you look at it. Doing something for or something to black folks. Well, here's more evidence of what this administration has accomplished to do in the matter of the last, year and a half.
And black women are being affected the most by it. According to Eviction Lab, there were more than 434,000 evictions last year. So for some context to this, the eviction moratorium was in place for a large portion of the year, but the number of renters at risk of eviction as of January spiked to about 3 million and counting. And of those, black women have the highest average of eviction filed against them at 6.2%, compared to white women at 3.4%. Now that equates to 1 in 4 black renters living in a place where black eviction filing rates were almost double than that of their white counterparts.
Winning, right? The African-American community stood up again for me. You've always had my back, and I'll always have yours. Well, he served you up this. And I guess, this was good enough, huh? See, representation matters. And, when we have the representation, then little boys and little girls can go ahead and see themselves and see something that they can aspire to when they grow up and know that they can make a difference in this world by them, too, just being a bobblehead and chewing on good old dick bars. Hooray for you. Woo, Lord. So, man, as the world turns, for real. Let's see here. What I got next for y'all? Okay. Y'all know there's an old video. I hope I got that in here. Oh, there it is. There it is. I knew I had it. So check this out, family. So this is like an old early speech from Stacey Abrams. I guess when she was trying to, I guess it was maybe figuring out what they were going to do with her or whatever. But I'm pretty sure that's what this is. Check this out.
Peace. This is a theme that we've been hearing today over and over again. This is a theme that came out in 1963 when A. Phil Randolph, a trade unionist, came forth to call for a march on Washington, asking for an end to Jim Crow laws, equal access to public education, and civil rights legislation that would change the face of a nation. Today we come before you, walking on the road to jobs, the road to peace, the road to justice, paved with the blood, the sweat, the tears of labor movement people from around the nation. And today, I come to you as a young person, as a young woman, as a young black woman, to ask you to use us, use the young people of the United States of America to pave a road that will last forever, pave a road that will let us become the foot soldiers, let us not have to do this again for our children. We ask you to let us come forth with you, not behind you, not in front of you, but together on that road to jobs, justice, and peace.
Now, what's so funny about that is like she puts that out as if to say like, I still represent this today. Woman, half of the stuff you mentioned in that speech, you won't even let come out your mouth today. Not in no serious tone of actually doing something. You kidding? Oh man, but see, I wanted to show y'all that like how they use them plants. They groom these people. They literally groom these people and now she's running for governor. Now from there, from speaking as the youth and the nice wrote out speech, what is she doing now? Toting the line. Towing the line. I mean, that's all she can do. Kid Gravity said, wait until tomorrow's show on my channel. Gotcha. You know, she's a cold piece. You know, she's I guess what you're seeing when you see her are the effects of her being so immersed in the Democratic upper brass, I guess. So she's so comfortable that she doesn't see anything outside of that, I guess, glass house. So, you know, she's in looking out until she's not anymore. You know what I mean? Oh, there is something else that I don't know if I want to play it. Oh, let me see. Why would I do this? How do I want to do this? You know what? I'm just going to show you this real quick. Have y'all seen this? Have any of y'all seen this? I'm just showing you the video right now. I don't have the sound turned on for a reason. Have y'all seen this particular video, though? I'm just curious. Does anybody know what she's talking about in this song? I mean, you know, really, truthfully speaking, this song represents all of these women out here talking this Roe v. Wade, Roe v. Wade, Roe v. Wade. And this song really just truly puts it in the truth arena. He said, no, I need to cover up my TV. Yeah. This is so it's a female who is I guess she's going for her Suki Hana badge. And it's a song about going to Planned Parenthood to go see the hitman because she got deletion on her mind. And she's literally celebrating not having a baby, putting it that way. Oh, yeah. You know, so worse than City Girls. Yeah. I would beg to say I mean, she's up here literally saying murder. That right there, I'll give you enough right there. Yeah. But I mean, I just wanted to show y'all that just to show you the type of stuff that we have allowed to infiltrate our inner circles and our communities, man. And who knows what these people's backgrounds are, but nonetheless, they get lumped in with us. And this type of crap is just like, let's see here. BORTING. On my way to the clinic, I forgot the plan B. Let's go. Now, in the meantime, they're putting all types of messages out here against black males, black men, black women being together, black communities being together, everybody being under the banner black. That is foundational Black Americans, so we can get this reparations, get our justice, and get our due. Matter of fact, I got this in here. So for those of y'all who have been down with this broadcast for a while, you guys might hear some of these points out there being made because, of course, you probably would have first heard it on my broadcast about the Dr. Martin Luther King Reparations Act, in which, like I keep saying, nobody wants to come talk to the brother. But I will say I am seeing the points of this particular act being spoken out there in different groups. So that's good. Number 1, end police murder, brutality, and harassment of our people. Number 2, self-defense of the Black community. Build a Black people's militia. 3, control of the politics and economics in our communities. Build independent political, social, and financial institutions in our community. Number 4, build independent community-controlled schools. Number 5, reparations for foundational Black American freedmen. Free all political prisoners and prisoners of war. Number 7, self-determination for the Black nation. So, you know, these are things that, and of course, restorative justice is part of the of the plan. And this ain't.
Brit Barbie. Period I, period 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 period I, period.
Oh my gosh, she done ran out of damn gas. Oh. Oh.
No medicine, there'd be no mayonnaise. No medicine, there'd be no mayonnaise. No medicine, there'd be no mayonnaise. No medicine.
Boy, where would we be without the letter M? My Lord. Lord. Woo. Man. Yeah, that's a rough one. That is a rough one. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's see where we need to go. Okay. All right. So this is what another little part I wanted to play, because again, we got to when these people are talking about what's going on in the state of Georgia, always remember that when people ask these politicians conversation or ask these politicians questions in these like town hall settings, there's 1,000 cameras in the room. So this is always hilarious to me. But somebody caught this great moment, and Nas, our brother Nas Escobar from Twitter, he posted this like, I think this might even have been from like last year or like earlier this year, or even further back than that. But just like I was showing you the history of Stacey Abrams, well, hell, she was showing you. So she letting you be known she's been down on the DNC team forever. She came in the game as one of their people that they would put on the mic in Washington, D.C. Now she's conveniently in place, prime, running for governor again. Like, they didn't give up on her after the first loss. So now they're going to take another chance on her again? All right. Well, nonetheless, here's your guy, Warnock, being asked about reparations. Boy, man, these guys get real tongue-tied when it comes down to talking about what foundational Black Americans, this big, huge voter block that they very much need to pay attention to and respect, are saying. Check
My
this out.
question is, it seems that we're always dealing with the symptoms of the problems instead of the bigger issues. And it seems that's one of the issues that could kind of fix all the issues is talking about reparations. And we don't talk about reparations enough in this country. And the last that I checked, the House had gotten the HB 40 past committee. And as far as I can tell, that's where it stopped. And I know you're in the Senate, so I'm not sure what you can do about that. But I did just wonder what you could do to further that cause in America right now.
So there is a bill to study the issue of reparations. Here's what I'm for: equity and opportunity. And I wake up every day fighting for that. And I do it in such a way that I think benefits all of us. But when you look at the issue of healthcare, for example, if we can get Medicaid expanded, it would help all of us if we could get Medicaid expanded, if we could get a fix. But it would have a disproportionate impact on communities of color because the disparities are so great. When we invest in jobs, when we invest in infrastructure, when we invest in a whole range of these things, when we deal with the expanded child tax credit, which helps 97% of families with children. But when you look at the racial wealth gap, it will be a great help to communities of color and other marginalized people.
Oh, Lord. Other marginalized people. So, okay, last broadcast, we ran and read through Stacey Abrams' plan for Black men, which is literally a plan for all minorities, meaning also white women. So I don't know why that would be a plan for Black men, but whatever. That's what they think of us. You know, that is what they think of us. I cannot make that any plainer. So, let me see. Let me do this here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up the telephone. So we're going to take a quick break so I can get that going. And hear from the family, hear what y'all got to say. I want to hear what y'all's take is about them trying to get us to watch this Woman King thing and the political implications behind it. And if y'all want to touch on Stacey Abrams, you most definitely can. And Herschel Walker and his opponent, Raphael Warnock. So let me see. Where am I going? All right. You know what? We got a nice house in here tonight. So how about some Wednesday night grooves? And, you know, I'll say first, ladies, don't listen to nobody like this.
Forget that it's okay to take the cape off.
Because you might just want somebody to play love games with you.
Seems so very, very rare. Your smile, your eyes, your walk, even the smell of your hair. you stay with me tonight? Baby, we can play love games all night. So now you're here with me, and I have you here in my arms. I'm elated. Wait, that's an understatement. The ways I'm wrapped up in your charm. Oh, baby, kiss me here, touch me there. Ever your game, baby, I don't care. Tonight I'm all yours. A world-class trip to everywhere. Baby, won't you stay with me tonight? Baby, we can play love games all
All right. Looks like we are back. And I went ahead and pin that. All right. Pin that on in there. And get this over here. All right. Thank y'all for your nice kind words on the feedback of the song. It's always good to know that people like your music. It helps. So I appreciate that. Let's see. Let's open this up. All right. So there is the number to call in the chat. You should see it. And if y'all want to call in and let me know what you feel about this Woman King movie. We are talking about the Woman King and them trying to get us to watch it. Also, tomorrow morning, we will be having a little bit from a clip from one of our most recent spaces, me and Black Alpha Network. And this will be the roast of another angry tether, Mr. Rectum Tangle. And, once you hear it tomorrow, you guys will get the clear picture. So shout out to my brother, Black Alpha Network. And, because we had to get one of them guys up out the paint. He will try to come over there with all of that yin yang. You know, I don't know what it is that makes them come over so disrespectful. Like we should just be disrespected at every given turn. It's crazy to me. But nonetheless, we had to run him off. So that was quite the interesting thing. Oh, by the way, family, I don't know if y'all noticed that those who follow me on Twitter, BET is feeling the heat. BET is feeling the heat. You know, I don't know what they're going to do now, because what's so funny is they literally took down what we retweeted today. That's absolutely hilarious to me. Let me see who I got here. Somebody's calling. Oh, wow. Uh-oh. There we go. Wait, my bad. All right. Let me see. Let me get you. Okay. All right. Who we got? Who's calling? Let me know where you are and where you are calling from.
I haven't called in a minute, King Beazella. It's me, Silent D from Atlanta, GA, but South Carolina raised 803 all day.
What's going on, my brother? You kind of in the Matrix. You in motion?
I guess you could say, not really. I don't know what's going on. I'm not really moving too much.
Okay.
But,
yeah, you sound. I can hear you though. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm calling from the house phone.
Okay. Ooh-wee.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know what's going on with connection. Probably because I don't know. But anyway, long
good.
time no talk. How has everything been with you, King?
Good, brother. Good. I cannot complain. How about yourself, brother?
I'm all right myself, just working hard, making sure I keep money flowing into my pocket, especially these crazy times.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of crazy, we're going to go ahead and get things rolling with the Rain Dance for Chaotic Energy show's results.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, we already knew that the mainstream media was going to be doing their best to try and defend themselves from the grassroots, but it's just not going to work for one reason. Everyone is pretty much stepping away from mainstream media because they're tired of all the lies and bullshittery that just goes on.
Right.
And number two, it's time for a change. Like
major.
It's old, tired, pretty much like some of these new faces already. Even though you can try and put a new makeup and wig on them, it's just not going to work.
Big facts.
Now, the woman, and speaking of which, we're going to have to, the main one, the Woman King. I mean, I already knew it was going to be bad from the get-go.
Man.
Especially, well, I can't really explain it into words like how I knew it was going to flop so bad. It just wasn't going to happen.
Right.
And for them to try to actually pull the celebrity class on us, basically trying to sway folk to try and go see the movie. I'm sorry, but why would we want to go see something that, for one, is not really appealing? I'm sorry, ladies, but that was just a waste of melanin on that movie.
Man.
And number two, you had Lupita Nyong'o walk away from the whole thing, and yet you got people still trying to go on with that movie. I'm sorry, but if you have one of your major stars walk away when she realized what was going on with the history of her folk,
right,
because of that, you know something is wrong. and you still want to go on with it, then something's wrong with you.
Right.
And of course, we can't really blame it on all the way up on the cast members. Definitely have to put the blame on the team as well, which I'm sorry, but who is it supposed to appeal to again? Especially with who's running it.
Right. Right. See, they call things like that black targeted. Like, and what's so funny? That's why Roland took his
targeted.
Yeah, and Roland took his point, which is funny. He actually kind of made that about black targeted media, not black owned, and the Woman King is the prime example of that talking point. Go ahead, brother.
Well, wouldn't he consider himself targeting? I mean, he is one big moving target every day, which we manage to get shots on him every single time.
Right. Absolutely.
But like I said, the Woman King, it wasn't going to do good at all. And there it is. Everything was trying so hard to make it seem like it was going to be something empowering. No, there's nothing empowering about the history of what was the tribe name again?
Well, the fighters were the Dahomey.
Right.
Yeah. So that's who they focused on. I find it interesting that they used like with Black Panther, they basically used Black Panther to set up the idea of the women warriors who protected and defended the king. The one thing they didn't do, I guess, in Black Panther is show you a mass, a mass sacrifice to whoever their deity was of 4,000 souls of enslaved folk. Now, those people very much probably could have been kin to us because those were the people who they sold in slavery, which they figured were not them. So, they definitely set it up and then moved right on into what they are calling reality. Now we find out that that's not even true. So again, you're throwing two different fictional groups at us representing the same thing, basically. However, ignoring their great hand in the slave trade. And the fact that when slavery was stopping here as far as the ships were going, like the actual trade itself by import, export, to understand that they were still operating after that. These white people here stopped before y'all? Wow. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I do. It's quite a shocker, but I guess that just adds on to the list on who owes us for whatever.
Absolutely, brother.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. I mean, that's pretty much what we're dealing with this Woman King. It's all a political situation. With that being said, you're down in the state of Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
So you have two different situations going on down there politically. You have the Warnock and Herschel Walker, and then you got Stacey Abrams and Kemp.
Yeah, and no matter who we go for, we're pretty much fucked all over.
That's what it sounded like.
We're really gonna be fucked over. We got Herschel running things and his done to keep a coherence and everything he says is enough.
Mm-hmm.
Everything he says is just one big lie.
Right.
Like what else are you lying about, dude? I mean, I'm not surprised considering he has played football and got hit a whole bunch of times. So I guess that's probably what comes into play. Dude just has the brain of scrambled eggs.
Right. Well, he's the main. He's one of the main people involved in the whole lawsuit against the NFL. So for all of the different things that he had went through, they attributed that to the what do they call that? CT. Well, whatever that injury that they had, CTE, I think is what they call it.
I'm trying to remember. I know what you're talking about.
Yes, he was like the main. That's what, again, and just put that in perspective. That's your potential representative is a person, and no slight to anybody who is a survivor of CTE, but can he flip out at any moment?
Yeah, he probably can.
I mean, it just just seems kind of interesting, but So what about Stacey Abrams, brother? What do you feel about her chances going on down there in the state of Georgia?
I feel nothing for her, to be honest. And we have been covering her in the past, especially she's still trying to appeal to us black men down here. But Stacey, we saw your plan for us black men. It didn't really have much for us in there.
At all.
Not one mention of anything. Like, I think you saw her plan. You had to see it. And I'm trying to figure out specifically about some of the bulletin points, but it's just, I'm not really surprised that Kemp's lead was going to widen the gap. I mean, for one, this is Brian Kemp. He's going to have certain white folk in his grasp already because, well, one, they're going to be on code with each other. Two, they're already thinking alike, so it's not going to be too easy. Three, they don't want anybody black running, no matter if you're a sellout or not.
Right. And that's the state of Georgia for you. I mean, that's the old South trying to stay the old South. And as they see newer things moving on in, that's kind of the way of the world, so they're trying to make America great again, which means make America under white supremacy control. So with that being said, brother, anything else before I let you go, brother?
Well, all I have to say is congratulations for putting in the work, King Beatzilla.
Thank you, sir.
You are close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, I believe, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's less than 20.
Well, let's see if we can get some. Let's see if we can cover those 20. And also, we know what we're doing. The grassroots, y'all, we're just gonna have to keep putting foots to asses. I believe you coined that phrase.
Yes, indeed.
and our work is never gonna be done. Trust and believe me. This is only the beginning.
Facts. Well, thank you, brother Silent D, for calling in tonight, brother. It has been a pleasure. Long time no hear. It's been a while since I took calls. So, man, good to hear your voice again, brother. And you take care out there, my brother. Black first.
B1, you take care as well.
Yes, sir. All right. Silent D in the house. That's an interesting thing going on out there, just with looking at how, you see all of these different politicians stammering around when they asking them about reparations. It's a very clear question. Well, so what about reparations? I don't know, I'm gonna have to dip. Yeah, okay. But anyway, like I was saying earlier, before Silent D had called, BET had a whole production of man, I hope somebody got it. I wish I would have got it because it was something of the sort that it was talking about all the Hispanic rappers, and then it went through all of these different oh man, it's so fabulous. Like he's Dominican and just showing all of these different Latino rappers. And it was a BET Hip Hop Award commercial celebrating Hispanic History Month. I'm like, or Hispanic Pride Month, or whatever. You know, I'm not certain of the name, but that was really interesting. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all really going all out on this? I mean, it was so blatant that they took it down. I mean, people went at them so hard today, it wasn't funny. Like BET is losing credibility by the hour. And by putting some mess out there like that, they were showing, and that's again, see, this is what I'm saying about all of this Woman King business and the Stacey Abrams and Tiffany Cross-Eye coming out here with the whole, for the people who listen to Tariq Nasheed and you listen to Kevin Samuels and you guys listening to these people, please. See, this is the type of thing that you always have to worry. Like I said, they were doing that to Farrakhan. I'm always very mindful of different tactics of the system of oppression, shall I say. And sometimes it's operatives or could be perceived to be. But like I said, one way to know about a person's integrity is if they are not talking about another person's business to where they cannot actually substantiate it. And they would not be doing that in public, especially in a public forum. So with that being said, let me play this real quick.
A program so when elections come, now you properly prep.
Yeah. And invest in black media, brother. We know that.
Black-owned media, not black
media.
targeted.
Black-owned media.
Absolutely.
Cliff, listen, I think Roland made a really legitimate point here. I will say, you know, a lot of black men sometimes feel like they're ignored or they're put down, particularly sometimes even by black women in the media. So this is not that. But I do hear Roland's point that felt ignored. But you feel ignored, and then you go over to the other side. The oppressed feel oppressed. So then you go and try to align with the oppressor. So I'm not putting black men down, but sometimes it's like, well, some of you Kevin Samuels following Tariq Nasheed quoting people, please look at the truth and see what's happening and get.
Now, a lot of people probably are wondering, why did she invoke Kevin Samuels' name? It was gender warring by proxy. And him even being the strongest energy out there, we are seeing some of these other elements play themselves out. And you're like, you can honestly say in some of these instances, Kevin Samuels was right. And that's not saying he's right about everything. And, you know, of course, not everybody is going to agree with what everybody says all the damn time. Fine. But sometimes just true is true. You know what I mean? You got to operate with what you see. You know what I mean? Silent D said, thank you for taking my call. Also, BET is male controlled and by Viacom. Yes, I've shown their family on the owning family of Viacom here. And I remember, actually, I'm glad you brought that up, Silent D. Okay, prime example. You know that these companies are all intertwined with Big Pharma, right? So all of them are connected. Now, what would a technology company such as like Big Pharma's, because that's what they are now, they have morphed into technical companies outside of medical. Project Leroy. That's what I noticed. I was like, oh, you guys are called a technology? Your medicine is technology? Oh, that's interesting. I've never heard that line before, that your medicine or brand was a technology. The technology of medicine. I've heard, machines and stuff like that, but to actually say, oh, no, we're actually going for digital medicine, basically. Okay, well, that's different. kind of sounds like something that we probably would want to avoid. But nonetheless, like I was saying, their need to bring up Kevin Samuels is because he drums up a feeling. Now think of who they talking to. You're talking supposedly about black men. How many black men are literally sitting up at the television watching Tiffany Cross? And the element that wants to see Roland Martin on MSNBC, who's that? What group is that? So they know good and doggone well this is not really going to reach us. This wasn't about black male voters. This was about pushing that black male, black woman gender divide. So also separating the people who are, I guess, on the fence, the people who want to believe that this movie is giving them some kind of strength or like it's giving them hope. They're feeling connected to somebody who actually oppressed them. They only want you to look at somebody that literally represents your demise. Anybody who's saying get out of harm's way, they want you to despise. So go see Woman King. Hate Minister Farrakhan. Go support these white women's movies. Don't go support Tariq Nasheed. Yeah, I'm just a saying. This is what happens out here. And we got to be mindful of that because we have a lot of powerful people within our own midst. And even with such admiration that we can have or respect that we can have for different individuals, we can't assume that other people would have that same respect for our leaders, or not necessarily leaders, but the people to whom our community holds in high esteem or high regard. So always remember, COINTELPRO works by legitimizing the operative, commingling the operative within legitimate ranks, then implementing chaos and dissension from within. These are things that you should be able to pick out from a distance. Some may need to be close, a visual, but, I don't really necessarily think so. I think some things can be telegraphed when you just know what to look for. Can you feel me? So with that being said, because for BET to take down what they put up today, that quick, like, and when me and Nicole's View, I'm thinking, as far as I know, we're probably one of the first two people to see it because it was like freshly out. They had just put it out, and her caption was hilarious. So obviously, the pushback on this. I mean, family, I wish I would have grabbed it. Because I saw it. I would have never thought BET would have taken it down. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you going so hard and so buck at everything that we're talking about. You're trying to push so hard against. But I'm telling you, if y'all would have saw that video today, you would have been like, "Wow, okay, y'all ain't trying to piss off nobody else. I mean, it's clear. It was very clear who y'all was trying to piss off. And they was trying to piss off foundational Black Americans because they are haters. And they understand that all of that money they spent to buy BET, to have full control over, so they thought, the Black media. Well, that sure didn't work out. That sure backfired now, didn't it? Because as things progressed, everything went off of television anyway. And it's not like since when did BET have any news on? Like, they don't put no news on. They don't even barely put music on anymore. It's all about their content and what they are pushing. Why? Because it's not Bob Johnson anymore. It's Viacom. That moves just like all of their other entities. Now, what were they also doing? They're also behind 16 and Pregnant and all of those celebrated little white girls that got pregnant, that weren't called thoughts or little nappy-headed hoes or something like that, because they were little wholesome Beckies. Shawana S., welcome. Just looking at the disparities in media. But this is the company that we're talking about, Viacom. What need do they have to have over Black targeted media? Notice how Black, they're trying to say, well, here's the thing with Byron Allen. Byron Allen does not have the ability to produce Black targeted media. Byron Allen can put a bunch of Black people in a room and film them, give them a script, and I guess they could decently act it. But to have any connection to what Black culture would vibe with, I mean, he's miles away. I've watched some of the stuff on the Griot. That's hard watching. That is hard. I'm like, who the hell is this for? Because clearly this ain't Black targeted. It's like what he do. I look at Byron Allen as kind of like a modern day minstrel show producer. So he just gets the Black people that white folks like to see. he gathered them, that's the type of thing that he'll do. And, I guess that's what he figures people want to see that watch him. I mean, Byron Allen is Black in color. He's Black by nationality, Other than that, come on, man. Now, you got people that have different opinions. They just can't have different opinions. Stop it. He don't have no difference of opinion. He has a difference of political view. And it ain't because of his finance status. Black Jack, 21, Amos and Andy, right. Man, I mean, you should see this type of stuff. If y'all could, because the Griot, I'm sure y'all probably got that channel. That Griot, I'm like, hey. It's where Bounce used to be. Or wait, no, Bounce is still there. They just added a channel. So yeah. Or if you had the BNC, the old BNC slot is now the Griot. Man, whack. I'm talking about absolute out of touch programming. So once again, let's go back and look at this Tiffany Cross piece and Roland Martin. By the way, Roland Martin keeps begging for a job and begging for money from the government or whoever the hell has money around the government. Do y'all notice that? He keep doing that? Black independent media. Well, we're over here. We're the new Black media. There's plenty of us over here to invest in. Matter of fact, it would be wise to get it while the getting is good. And then at the end of the day, he gonna say, well, you're gonna go broke if you don't put your money on us. What the hell did he say? I mean, you literally over here taking, I mean, that's a word out of our song, Roland. That is lines from our music. And you ain't part of that. But, you know, I'm glad that you understand the sentiment. Roland Martin keeps ducking and dodging TVA. Well, you know, when you call somebody out that will pull up, but nope. Because again, how does that play on camera? He could kill two birds with one stone. See, a lot of people be like, oh, wow. Because what would y'all do if the way that y'all got Jason Black on camera is him roasting Roland Martin live and in person? You know how bad that backfires for Roland? Do y'all know how bad and how quick that backfires for Roland? That's literally career suicide. Hell no, he is not going to step to that man. Not a chance. I'm telling you, anybody got a camera around that, the first time you want to see Jason Black on camera will be him roasting Roland Martin live? Please. Please. You be putting that brother over 1 million views, 1 million subscribers in an hour. Like I said, it would backfire miserably. Miserably. You know, TMZ gonna be right there with like the exclusive. Man, how much can we get for? I mean, because it would be news. You better make them pay for that one. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. So yeah, you best believe Roland Martin ain't gonna step to nobody in the real because he got to deal with the, you know, you can't overtalk or mute somebody or have somebody cut somebody's mic. He's stuck. Wait, I'm about this equipment. And then now, where the rest of them at? They ain't out here. I'm out here. It's my stuff. How about this? Problem is you aren't with the people, brother. And this is kind of my thing about this woman king. This gives all of the fake, I'm like proud to be black people. This gives them an opportunity to have like some kind of voice, break out their little kente cloths and whatnot, break out their African raps, go ahead and go over to the little markets, start feeling real Wakanda. Feeling real Wakanda. Black women stand up. Welcome, welcome. Lord. Hooey. I mean, it just be killing me, man. I mean, because just think of how many folks was doing that over the doggone Black Panther. And now with this new Black Panther, I'm telling y'all, if Shuri does not have to fight M'Baku, the movie is garbage and has no validity. Because every person from every tribe gets an opportunity to challenge for the crown. But all of a sudden, I guess they're gonna just change that plot. Let's just go head up and the woman, or is Shuri gonna be able to just barehandedly beat M'Baku? Is that what we gonna watch? They're gonna go. Because notice how this is happening, family. The timing it's not by accident. Why do you think they wanted Lupita? Are you seeing the play? You set it up with the first Black Panther. You go get Lupita to star in this. Then Lupita come right back into the next Black Panther. Now you're integrating this into the Marvel Universe with no hitch. I bet Namor will hit on Nakia. Well, brother, I don't know what time you got into this broadcast this evening, that brother laying down in the white shirt's name is Hero. And yes, he is amongst one of the Woman King cast. If you look over there in that picture right there, you'll see him to the bottom left. He's the only pale, really severely pale one on the screen. And so yeah. They didn't have a white savior. They had a white hero. That's what family, don't think that doesn't mean something. Like, they don't do anything by chance or accident. That dude's name is literally Hero. I need a hero. I mean, come on, man. This dude is supposed to be African, coming back to his roots, his Dahomey roots, which it's like, oh, okay, so you just a mixed slaver, and you mix with two different kinds of slavers, the Portuguese and the Dahomey. Okay, got it. Now, again, they're presenting him as the hunky, and I say hunky, not to, so don't, hey, he's saying this, but they're presenting him as the hunky, Caucasian that comes back and gets in touch with his Dahomey roots, I guess. So, Mr. Hero, which, I'm pretty, he's an actor, so you can see his get down, it ain't hard to see. So, and here's another thing. That's their version of hunky. That is their version of hunky. Well, let's see, where is this at? Where is this at? Because because this is how the black men was looking on the movie.
What did you do? Locked yourself in the cupboard.
So, one more thing before we go. One more thing before we go. I know y'all had to have seen this.
When, there's all of this wealth and you hear about it, comes as England is facing rising costs of living, a living crisis, austerity budget cuts, and so on. And then you have those who are asking for reparations for colonialism, and they're wondering, $100 billion, $24 billion here and there, $500 million there. Some people want to be paid back, and members of the public are wondering, why are we suffering when you are, you have all of this vast wealth? Those are legitimate concerns.
Well, I think you're right about reparations in terms of if people want it, though, what they need to do is you always need to go back to the beginning of a supply chain. Where was the beginning of the supply chain? That was in Africa, and when across the entire world, when the slavery was taking place, which was the first nation in the world that abolished slavery? The first nation in the world to abolish it. It was started by William Wilberforce, was the British. In Great Britain, they abolished slavery. 2,000 naval men died on the high seas trying to stop slavery. Why? Because the African kings were rounding up their own people. They had them on cages waiting in the beaches. No one was running into Africa to get them. And I think you're totally right. If reparations need to be paid, we need to go right back to the beginning of that supply chain and say, who was rounding up their own people and having them handcuffed in cages? Absolutely. That's where they should start. And maybe, I don't know, the descendants of those families where they died in the high seas trying to stop the slavery, that those families should receive something too, I think, at the same time.
I don't know if any of y'all could ever find yourself to agree with that level of insanity. But good Lord. Good Lord. Well, all I can really say to that is that these people are out of their minds. So, how we do. Paying homage to those who have lost their minds.
Oh, yeah. That's what you say when you see your devil down. Oh, yeah. That's what you say when you take the devil's crown. Oh, yeah. Stay alive, all things will change around. Oh, yeah. What? Oh, yeah. So here I go, kicking science in 95, I'll be illin'. Parental discretion is advised still. Don't call me nigga, this MC goes for his. Call me God, cause that's what the black man is. Roaming through the forest as the hardest lyrical artist. Black woman, you are not a bitch, you're a goddess. Let it be known, you can lean on KRS-One like a wall, cause I'm hard. I represent God. Whack MCs have one style, gun buck. But when you say, let's buck for revolution, hey, shut the fuck up, can't get with it. Down to start a riot in a minute. You hear so many, bow, bow, bow. You think I'm rich, while other MCs are talking about up with hope, down with dope. I'll have a devil in my infrared scope. Boy, that's for calling my father a boy. Yeah, hack, hack, hack. That's for putting scars on my mother's back. Bow, that's for calling my sister a hoe. And for you, fuck, 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 cause I don't give a motherfuck. Remember the whip, remember the chant, remember the rope, and you black people still thinking about voting? Every president we ever had lied. You know I'm kinda glad Nixon died. Oh yeah, that's what you say when you see a devil dead. Oh yeah, that's what you say when you take the devil's crown. Oh yeah, stay alive, all things will change around. Oh yeah, what? Oh yeah. This is not the first time I came to the planet, but every time I come, only a few could understand it. I came as ISIS, my words they tried to ban it. I came as Moses, they couldn't follow my commandments. I came as Solomon, to a people that was lost. I came as Jesus, but they nailed me to a cross. I came as Harriet Tubman, I put the truth to Sojourner. Other times, I had to come as Nat Turner. They tried to burn me, lynch me, and starve me, so I had to come back as Marcus Garvey. Bob Marley, they tried to harm me. I used to be Malcolm X. Now I'm on the planet as the one called KRS. Kicking the metaphysical, spiritual, trying to get with you, showing you were invincible. The Black Panther is the black answer for real. In my spiritual form, I turn into Bobby Seale. On the wheels of steel, my spirit flies away and enters into Kwame Ture. Oh, yeah. That's what you say when you see a devil dead. Oh, yeah. That's what you say when you take the devil's crown. Oh, yeah. Stay alive, all things will change around. Oh, yeah. What? Oh, yeah. Streets there is no EQ, no dee-doo-dee-doo-dee-doo. So I grab the air and speak through the code. The devil cannot see through as I unload into another cerebellum. Then I can tell him, because my vibes go through denim and leather, whatever. However, I'm still rocking. We used to pick cotton, now we pick up cotton when we shopping. Have you forgotten why we building in a cipher? You hear me, kid? Government is building in a pyramid. The son of God is brighter than the son of man. The spirit is. Check your dollar bill, G. There it is. We got no time for fancy mathematics. Your mental frequency frequently picking up static, making you a naked body addict. And it's democratic. They press auto, and you kill it with an automatic. Oh, yeah. That's what you say when you see a devil dead. Oh, yeah. That's what you say when you take the devil's crown. Oh, yeah. Stay alive, all things will change around. Oh, yeah. What? Oh, yeah.
Babylon is fallen. Babylon is fallen. Let it fall and let us rise. Yes, indeed. Once again, you said she pancake. Facts. Yes, indeed. When the rain dance for chaotic energy shows results. And in this case, the results are failure to deliver the black constituency as they are normally used to doing by just waving their hand, batting their eyes, and saying anything is better than Trump. No, that ain't gonna cut it no more. We are going to have to do a little better than that. And that means no tangibles, no vote. Now, I know this man, see, rolling out there talking about, y'all talking about tangibles. I don't know for those in new black media, talking about tangibles. All right, yeah. Now, you turn around and get right on MSNBC, start talking about what she needs to do about getting people and pundits and this. You got to pay the pundits, right? Well, Roland, here's the funny thing. No one's actually hitting you up. Now, how many of us have been contacted to promote other politicians? Why aren't they contacting you? I mean, because we know you won't vet anybody. But see, that's the whole thing. They need somebody with validity. And that's not easily for sale over here. That's why you're on MSNBC throwing it all out there like you are selling Bucci Cat on the highway. Anyway, y'all can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at beatzillapdx. You can follow me on Patreon, beatzillapdx official, and on Melanated People at Michael Beatzilla Whitmore. You can also email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. That is ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And of course, if you feel so inclined to put some money in the bucket by way of donation, all contributions are absolutely appreciated. Peace, power, blessings, and protection up on all of you who help this channel keep going. And again, we are almost up to 1,000 folks, family. We're almost there. So you can go ahead and donate before we get to this super chat button, and I guess that at that moment you'll be able to do both. But up right now, you can go to CashApp. That's $BeatZillaPDX. CashApp, $BeatZillaPDX. Of course, also we have PayPal. And at PayPal, that is Zilla Music. That is ZILLAMUZAK. And with that being said, family, we are going how we normally do on this evening. Also, let me show y'all the what to be. Y'all should already be have your notifications on for this in the morning. So this is what you guys are going to get 9 Pacific time tomorrow morning. This will be airing on this broadcasting channel. So y'all will get the roast of another angry tether, Mr. Rectum Tangle. and you can come and enjoy. If you missed our spaces and if you're not on Twitter, you can get a little taste of the conversation in the morning. So with that being said, y'all have a blessed night. Y'all stay safe. We will be back here, of course, Friday for the weekly wrap up. Ain't no telling what is going to happen between now and then. There is always news in these streets. And right now with BET, I would hope, not that I don't even hope. I wonder how long it'll take them to actually issue an apology for what they did, because they felt bad enough to take it down. So when I go back to my page, it's gone. I go back to Tariq, it's gone. Nicole's view is gone. So they literally BET took this video down off of Twitter. A whole production. So let it be known, our voices is being heard out here, family. So keep your 3 or 5 smooth stones at the ready. But you really might only need one, because you will never have any excuse not to be ready. to put in some work. Always throw the stone of truth. Shalom, y'all. Black first.
When you know who Satan is, yes, sir, you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. Yes. See, that's what you throw. Yes, right. Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.